Hopefully, we are live now. Sadly, I lost all of the viewers. I'll wait for some of you guys to join. It's all alone here. For 15 seconds, it has never been the case like that nobody's here. I'm all by myself. Very disappointing. Single person here again. Stacy Morgan, much better. Thank you very much, brother. I'm deleting the last one. Hopefully, hopefully this one works. Man, it is getting really disappointing. The Wi-Fi guy who is supposed to install a Wi-Fi connection here, he always keeps on telling me next Tuesday, next Tuesday. And this is the case whenever there's a monopoly. He's the only guy providing Wi-Fi connection here. You can't really argue with him because he would simply say no. Like, I'm not giving you connection. Do whatever you want. This is the big problem. And I thought about not going live till I get a Wi-Fi connection. And then I saw kind of his behavior that I will never get a Wi-Fi connection. This is what the sad part. Try Geo work from home plan. Joel Suraj, can you explain the details? I remember you also told me the similar thing last time also. Oh my god, has it all again frozen? Now it works. Megatron. Deckard with Dave. Good morning. Hello. Let's go. Javed Ahmadi. Thanks, brother. Straight as Matthew. Can see you now. Adnan Ravdesh. Welcome, brother. Kobus Prince. Let's go. Hi, Pradeep. Wi Fi is horrible. Wi Fi is not. I'm using this mobile data hotspot. That is why the problem is there. If there was Wi Fi, it wouldn't have been a problem. Sravan Ganga. Hi, bro. Quack. So I don't know who started the quack thing, because Devon initially said crack, like in the Mad Mask match 2018, I believe it was. Devon said crack, I'm going to crack you, and it somehow turned into quack. Amazing. Rahul Das Majumdar, good evening, bro. Was waiting for your live. I tried to go live, Rahul, but the internet connection, man, damn it. What can you do about it? And the problem with these live streams are, if for once I accidentally click flight mode, like I go on flight mode and the connection is lost for 15-20 seconds, the live stream is pretty much over. Not, at least that's what I know. You cannot really do anything about it. That is pretty horrible. I knew it. You knew what? You knew what, bro? I still don't have the link to my own live stream if I want to check how how the video quality is. Rupees 350 GB 30 days. Okay. I'm doing 25 rupees 2 GB recharge every day. This is what I'm doing right now. Pradeep, rate Ermi's performance against Gennady 1 to 5 in terms of technique. Hmm. He pretty much did what he needed to do against Gennady. Can't really argue with that. Sometimes he rushed the pin, like I would say 4.5. Sometimes he rushed the pin, but it wasn't really his fault. Whenever I thought that he's rushing the pin, he should climb more. All of the times, Gennady's elbow was that much off the back of the pad, at least 1.5 inch. But the referee wasn't calling it, or maybe it was running foul. So really good technique. And this is how I predicted. Like when I was on Leon longevity, I said exactly like that. Hermes will take Gennady's wrist, but he will not be able to finish. But since we have seen against Michael Todd that Hermes has a really good press with a cup and also without a cup, he has both press, so it won't be a problem for him to finish Gennady. And this is exactly what happened. Have you considered getting a fly box? Megatron, I have unfortunately never heard what that is. And Cobus Prince. Who would win if they pulled each other today? Who? Okay, Devon versus Levan. Of course, Levan. How is that even a question? Have you considered getting a fly box? Levan versus Devon, Dennis versus Devon. Okay, word workout. You think it is going to end up in a similar way for Devon? Possible, quite possible. Very high chances of that. Stacy Morgan, first commenter on Devon's comment section gets a duck. Quack, quack. right? And Devon also kind of accepted that quack word. He never really said that I was saying crack, crack. I think once he said that, once someone asked what he was saying to Matt Mas during that match, and he said crack. But man, the trend took over. Like the DB Cooper, the name wasn't really DB Cooper. It was combined with two names. So, but then for the world, it was DB Cooper. It is a similar thing with Quack. Radiant Ministry. Can Devon pin Levan easily? Of course not. Pabnaful. Where what can be done to solve the internet connection problem? How can you get around that single Wi-Fi provider? I've asked multiple Wi-Fi providers here, and everyone is saying, unfortunately, we don't provide service in your area. That is just unfortunate situation. But this time he has promised me. I told him, how is it different than the last 10 times that you have promised me? He said, no sir, this time it is confirmed Tuesday. So he told me Tuesday. Hopefully the next live stream will be better. Can Beerman get a pin on Schoolboy? Arm wrestling uncensored. So possibly, maybe, but I would favor Schoolboy very heavily in that match. Schoolboy is left. What I wanted to see, and what I also got in one comment, very interesting comment. He said that Beerman versus Schoolboy should have been left-handed, and since they were looking for a match for Chanshaw because FA Comic pulled out because of injury, Chanshaw versus Schoolboy should have been right-handed because that match also had some pre-hype behind that. And Sandre say this versus Chanshaw could be a one-sided match. That is what everyone is believing. So Beerman versus Schoolboy left-handed, Chanshaw versus Schoolboy right-handed. This should have been the match. So very difficult for Beerman to get a pin on Schoolboy right-handed. This is what I believe. And I'm not blaming anything here, but you guys have to see that Schoolboy also has two different versions. One is WAF version, which is 255 pounds, and one is Super Match version, 275 pounds. So it will be really difficult to deal with the Super Match version of Schoolboy. Thanatos, Thanatos. So what do you think? How can, and Megatron, I read your comment. It is like Wi-Fi but wireless, and you change it with a card. Okay, I'll have to look into it. What do you think? How can Devon beat Levan? I think if Devon can stop the match with King's move, he will bleed Levan pretty quickly. I think it will go just like Larry versus Brandon. Thanatos, I somehow doubt that. I don't think it is going to go like that. And I heard today Neil pick up Engin Terzi say that in his video that he thinks that Devon will go in a open top roll, not a desperation move. So Engin calls this open top roll and he calls this desperation move. So the only reason why Devon went only in open top roll, not in desperation move, is because the match stopped there. Had the match not stopped there, Devon have kept going below, kept going below. Nobody can tell me that Devon would have stopped there in open top roll position and let his arm get pinned. It wasn't happening, just cannot happen. So against Levan, how I believe, I think Levan will pin Devon in round one without even before he's able to get under the table. This is what I think is going to happen. Round two, Devon will be able to get under the table, and referee will foul him if the match stops. But Devon is going to stay there. He is not coming up. So ref will wait for 1 more second or maybe 2 more seconds. Then he will give second foul. Then he will give third foul. So a total of 5 second bleeds on Levan's arm, on Levan's hand, and Devon is fouled out for that round 2-0. This is how I see this happening. Again, round three, I think Devon is going to do the same thing, like under the table, taking Levan's hand, maybe elbow off the back of the pad as much as he can get away with. Three fouls, total bleed of 5 seconds on Levan's arm. This is the only chance that I see that Devon has against Levan, to get fouled out 3 times and put as much bleed on Levan's hand and arm as he can. That's what I see. Megatron. Faisal Khan. Any update on Tim Bresnan? I believe he's not active anymore. Tim Bresnan is going to compete against Prudnik next year. Super chat from P. It is Pabnaful, I guess, my brother Muhammad. I hope it helps a little bit to get the internet connection going. No, 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 no. You got it wrong, brother. Keep up, Pradeep. Thank you very much for your super chat. And Muhammad, you don't have to do it every time. This is not why I sent you the link of live stream. The kind of problem with connection is it is not the money. I can pay him twice. of his regular charge if he is able to provide me, because it will be beneficial for me in the long run. But he's just not coming here. What can I possibly do about it? That is the problem. But again, we really appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much, brother. Google Starlink for your internet connection. Trapper V Starlink. Okay. Starlink. I'll remember that. Merc, how should Devon train to defeat Levan? Mostly arm wrestle as he intends to train, or Eastern European style with one RMs, etc. Devon definitely need to one RM his king's move. That is all he can, because Devon is very clear about this match. He even told before and even after the Chafee match that you have to be a totally crazy person if you think you can beat Levan in any fundamentals, cupping, pronation, back pressure. You just cannot beat Levan in any fundamentals, no matter how much one RMs you do. So Devon needs to one RM his king's move. That is all he needs to do, and this is the only way. And I heard today someone say that Devon's only chance is either the king's move, extreme outside, or the hook, extreme inside. And I really doubt that. Like Devon versus Todzilla, I would say are kind of equal in a hook, especially when Devon is about 275 pounds. So Dave bullies Todzilla inside a hook. And Dave Chaffee was not ready to go in a hook with Levan. So inside option, I don't really see Devon having any inside option against Levan. Only option is extreme outside, King's move. And this is what Devon needs to. I don't know how do you train King's move with weights. Maybe get under the table and have some weights or pulley and just pull like that or pronate like that in this position. Maybe Devon needs to do that. Levan versus a schoolboy. Amazing, interesting match. Radiant Ministry. Man, these dogs. He can defeat Levan. There is nothing he can do. He can't. Okay, he can't defeat Levan. I will eat my own head if Levan loses that match. People actually believing Levan can't deal with King's move. Yes, Megatron. And we have seen him press. We have seen Levan get behind his shoulder very efficiently and press through like that. He doesn't need to do a flop press because his wrist never goes back. So I think if even if his wrist goes back, if Levan needs to press, it will be something like Hermes versus Gennady, will with full cupped wrist and trying to press like that. But even if his wrist goes back, I think Levan can press. And Devon's King's move defense when somebody gets behind their shoulder is not really great. This is what I have seen in the past. Listening to you in the shower, keep it spicy. Roger Cunningham, thank you very much, brother. What do you think, Stephen? What do you think? Does Devon already know he can't do anything, but he just agreed because of money? I don't really, I can't really say anything about money, but I have seen this one thing about Devon Laird that he never cares about the money. When he said that he doesn't isn't in arm wrestling for money, I believe that. But there are two kind of scenarios into that. Devon only tries to make money from matches. Like he would, if he's offered a $15,000 super match and $10,000 super match, he would for sure take the 15,000 one. He arm wrestles for money, but he isn't really interested in any other form. Like you would never see him do any sponsorship. He even did not have his email added to his YouTube. So he has no interest making money from YouTube, and he can make a ton of money from YouTube. Trust me. Like at least I would say, at least if he goes like really hard on it, I would say he can earn $10,000 from YouTube a month at least. So, but he isn't interested in it. So that is the problem. But Devon arm wrestles. He chooses matches for money. This is what I think. And plus, this is also a number one spot match. And those things can also be true. People who are saying that even if Devon loses, he can still claim that he only lost to number one guy. RVJ is saying the same thing. You can literally see it. RVJ lost to Sasha Andreev. Everyone except RVJ knew that he's going to lose the match. But now he's saying that, so what? I lost to the number one guy in the world. Even all the Europeans lose to that guy. So there is a no big deal. So maybe that could also be some argument. Jerentila. Some people also think Devon can stop Levan. I don't think he can stop. Maybe I told you the scenario like three rounds, three fouls under the table, elbow 2 inches off the back of the pad 5 second bleed every round. Maybe then he can do something by fourth or maybe in fifth round. Lachlan versus Toddzilla seems lopsided if you read the polls. Do you believe Todd can go better than 4-2 if he wins the match? Anything is possible. First of all, there are people on either extremes in this match, and I personally am somewhere between. I genuinely think that this is going to be a really close match. I would say closer than the Corey West versus Toddzilla match. Lachlan looks really strong. Like Ryan Bowen, you can say anything about him, but he's not a weak guy. He has good inside game, good outside game. Not top 5 tier, but maybe somewhere very high top 3 or low bottom top 4 tier maybe. And he just went through him like nothing. So Lachlan is definitely strong. You saw his one arm pull up today, that the video that he posted. This match could be really, really interesting. I would still favor Godzilla, maybe 4-2, like you mentioned, because 6 rounds is a lot, and endurance will play part in this match. And I don't really believe that Lachlan has a better endurance than Todd inside a hook. So I would still favor Todd Hutchings in that match, maybe 4-2, I would say. Devon can't turn Levan inside. Yes, true. Even if it does, it wouldn't matter. Levan is just too much strong. Levan knows that he needs to finish Devon quickly and steamroll through him in a flash. Levan never messes with anyone. He finishes everyone quickly. Stopping Levan is just delusional. He isn't beating Levan in fundamentals, right, Megatron? Hi, man. Michael, isn't Bresnan facing Derek Smith? Yes, Tim Bresnan is facing Derek Smith on, I think, 27th or 29th of January. I forgot about that, sorry. I made a video about it and I still forgot. Too much arm wrestling going on. Who can beat Levan in future? Vitali has to be the first guy. Ullas Singh. Kordecha maybe and Vitali, right? Kordecha is also a big rising star. Vitali Lilatin and Alex Kordecha are the only people who are threat to him, right? Faisal Khan. Starlink is not allowed in India at the moment. Okay. Greetings from Greece. Morning Star. Thank you very much. Igor Mezurenko, how much money you guys are willing to give me for making Levan lose this match against Devon? Igor. Let's see what people are saying. I'd still I'd still say Vitali is a lot better opponent for Levan, and they both would bully Devon. And people were saying, why not Vitali? Why Devon doesn't need to Vitali? We have already seen, Engin Terzi mentioned it very clearly, and I'm quoting his words. We have already seen Vitali versus Levan, and we will see that match once again in the future in top 8. So why do we need to see that match again for the third time in between 1 and 2, 1 and 3? Dave didn't want to go near Levan inside hook. Isn't an option, right? Clear. Actually, Levan's back pressure is not that impressive. I believe few people could match that, and it is his cup and fingers that make him more, possibly. If Levan chooses to go outside, it goes outside. No inside option for Devon, right? Please talk a little bit, Pabneful, please talk a little bit about Hermes versus Arif. And I saw the comments. Was this match recently announced? Because I did not see anything like that till about 4 5 hours from now. So is it okay? February 12th, you mentioned on Engin Terzi's event. Hermes versus Arif. Man, I just have to go with Hermes Gasparini on this match. Because Arif has been competing in tested leagues. He recently won WEF. And to me, his wrist, I saw his match. He won. He's a WEF champion, but still, man, I just made a video about WEF championship. I made a video where I compared WEF level to other leagues. And in that video, I'm going to upload it as soon as this live stream ends, within 10-15 minutes of that. So whatever time it is going to take to upload. So guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to upload a video, so maybe you don't want to miss that. And 112 guys online and only 26 likes. I usually don't really complain about the likes numbers, but really bad, man. Again, for the bad connection, maybe. I don't deserve it. So I have to go with Hermes Gasparini in this match. I cannot see him. Is Arif really fast? Anyone of you know? I have to look at Arif's matches closely. But I would go with Hermes Gasparini, maybe 5-1 in that match. And Pabnapul, I will definitely make a video about that. I wasn't aware of this match till now. So I'll make a video about that. As much as I love Devon, the number one to dethrone Levan is going to be Vitaly or Kodecha, right? Devon is going to put his elbow off the pad and forearm on the pad to support his weaker angle. Levan should just hold him, smile, and wait until Devon gets three fouls. If he stands up and joins him immediately, this is exactly what I think. This is exactly how I think is the match is going to go. But if I were Levan, I would not just wait and smile. I would just give away the match and restart the match maybe. But then in the restarts, Devon would take another 2 3 minutes. So maybe I think you are right. Maybe it isn't a wise decision to lay down. Or how about lift your own elbow, get a deeper cup, pull back, then both our guys are on fouls. I think still the match would restart. Nesudo, brother, I cannot really read your comment. Mike G, Devon now makes plenty of money. Winner, winner money prize, Radiant Mystery. Levan is ending Devon's career on June 2022. Yeah, it's all about money. I'm really far behind, man. Devon needs Georgian kinkale. I saw that dish. I heard the name of that dish instead of pancakes to get bigger. Do you think Lachlan will try to go with Todd inside? Of course, this match is going to end Todd inside. One arm pull up at that weight is impressive, right? Impossible for Devon, sorry. Holy FUK. Will Devon get to 300 pounds in this little time? It is not a little time, man. It's 6 months from now. What are you talking about? He said he will go all in on February. Yes, he said he needs 1 more month to rest, but still about 4.5 months at least. I think he can go to 300 pounds, not more than that. But Devon also said that he won't be surprised if he's not able to reach that weight. Kudecha is actually bigger than Levan frame. He is insane. Yes, but he's lighter, kind of lighter. But he looks fit. Levan is more than capable than retiring undefeated. Right. I think Vitali versus Kudecha is a lot more interesting. Yes, I really want to see that match. What are the rules on the straps? If Devon gets to straps, it's over. He will win. Mark my words. Devon won't be able to slip though. Mike G, Devon does not need to slip. He will go straight to the straps in 30 seconds and he will not win there. Devon can only win WL. King of the table is almost equal to WL. I don't see any changes there. Very few. Then it will be Lilith in Rain. Okay, since he's looking very healthy and at that weight, think he can go on for another 20 years. Really sad to see so many Devon haters. They underestimate him a lot because of this. Devon is the face of arm wrestling. Of course, Devon is the face of arm wrestling. He is Mr. Arm Wrestling. But if John Brazing at 57 and 250 pounds is able to move Devon sideways, I'm not really sure what Levan is going to do to him. And of course, Devon will be stronger version of himself compared to this month. But man, how much stronger can he get? I always like. Thank you very much, brother. 44 likes. Please take the number to 50, guys. I'm slowly catching up on the chat. Hermes is very active. Devon is running out of space to hide. Heard that Devon lost to Hermes in a practice match in King of the Table 2 off camera. Spetsnaz has no idea about that. I thought none of them arm wrestled because there is no footage of no footage of Hermes after pulling, no footage of John Brazing, no footage of Devon, no footage of Gennady. Really disappointing. At least they could have gone left-handed. Heard that Devon lost to Hermes. Okay, read that. Matt Mask was toying with Arif. What's the purpose of this match? I don't understand. Matt was toying with Arif. Maybe he was injured that day. I also heard Engin Terzi mention that Arif was injured around that time. But then F.A. Comic, who was facing Herman Stevens, he was also toying with Mad Mask. So what can you get from that? F.A. Comic, who defeated Herman Stevens both left and right-handed, he was toying with Mad Mask. There was nothing that Mad Mask could do with him. So you can't really compare like that. King's move will defeat Levan. Okay. Good to see fine people in the chat like Mihail. Okay, Mihail. I used to call him Mikhail. Megatron and Martin Andoni, right, Jere? You are dreaming. Thanks. Levan never faced a King's mover. Levan will fall. Okay, hopefully I would love to see Devon win, but I just don't see the chances of that happening. This is what I'm saying. I'm sure that most of the guys who saying that Levan will destroy Devon, they wouldn't mind it either if Devon wins fairly, of course. He keeps writing gibberish just to mock your Indian accent. Ooh, Nessundo. Okay, okay, okay. He made previous comments. He's Italian about that. Okay, leave him. It doesn't really matter. Like, one thing that I would really pat myself on the back about is my tolerance. Like, earlier, you these comments used to bother me, but right now, like, I'm always almost reached expert level. These comments don't really bother me anymore. Like, really good. I have seen some serious arm wrestlers still getting offended by hateful or negative comments. Doesn't really matter much to me. Maybe if I were at their level and I heard something bad about me, then I could have felt bad. But at this level, I don't really feel anything. You can say whatever you want about me. I still don't understand how getting bigger only fat makes you stronger. Little bit, there is always a little bit carryover. Not for me personally. Like, if I look, if I'm at 85 kilos right now, I cannot do a one arm pull up. But if I'm 80 kilos, I can easily do a one arm pull up even with 5 kilos weight. So this is how it is. I'm actually stronger when I'm leaner. People forget that King's move needs setup and Levan won't allow it. What setup? John was able to crack Devon because Bill made him pull his elbow back to get the webbing equal. No, Devon did not. Did you see that match? Man, deeps. You're just commenting anything. Right before the start, 1 second before the go, Devon just shifted his elbow right to the front edge of the pad. So there was no elbow to the back of the pad. Trust me. Watch that round one again. Right before the go, Devon did this with his elbow. Devon let John get that first hit on round one. If Devon tried, he would have stonewalled John. Man, Mike G, this time I think you're a troll. You're like really acting delusional this time. Sorry to say that. But Devon was shaking, red lining. His face was totally red, going under the. Devon tried to stop it here, hoping it will stop here, hoping it will stop. But when he didn't, Devon was shaking. He was completely red. Then he went under the table. And you're saying that he was allowing him to hit? Come on, man. Bowen reminds me 6-year-old kid waiting a Santa Claus when he talks about Devon versus Levan match. It is his job to promote the matches like that. I don't really believe what he says in the videos. That is why I sometimes talk with him privately to clear things out. I'm like, Ryan, please don't tell me that you really believe what you just said in a video. Devon is old, but if he was younger, no comparison, no one can do what Devon did. Okay. Levan versus Devon, Dennis versus Devon. What do you think about this comparison? This could be true. This is what I think. World workout. I think Devon did not took steroids, heavy cycle for Brazil, so he was kind of weak. Yes, I said that he can be a little bit stronger. Definitely, he will be stronger. Angie Terzi said that he could be 10-15% stronger. But will that 10-15% would be enough? I'm not sure about that. Devon's the man, but I just can't see him beating Levan. Peter, right, Peter? Why my comment get deleted every time? Devil led from future. I am not deleting anything, brother. You can see. I think Levan can broke Devon's hand if he goes into King's move. John. There is no chance in the whole world that Levan will lose hand position and wrist only where Devon takes one round is in sixth round with King's move. Maybe. Devon beating Levan would be an insane achievement for him. Andros forever. Brother, for me, it would be one of the biggest, not one of the, from the matches I have watched, it would be the biggest upset in arm wrestling history. There could be bigger upsets, but I personally haven't watched them. For me, it will be the biggest upset in arm wrestling history. Thank you for the live feed. Much respect. And surprisingly, nearly 30 minutes and no lagging going on. Ankur Banerjee retracted something. Okay. Thank you for the live feed. Keith Thomas, welcome back, brother. Greetings from my friend from Wales. Thanks for the live stream. Greeting, my friend. Okay, thank you, brother. If Devon beats Levan, it's end of the world, right? I'm not an arm wrestler, so maybe it is my ignorance. But having watched both guys arm wrestle a ton, it doesn't seem like at all that Devon has a chance. Agree. What am I missing if I'm wrong? I don't think you are missing anything, brother. This is what I believe too. And this is what many people believe. But I was really surprised to see the polls. Devon had like 48% votes of winning in favor of him. I was really surprised. I want to see you beat Levan, bro. Me, Aryan Kumar, I would definitely beat Levan. Not even close. Pradeep, are you competitively arm wrestling right now? There is right now I'm living in West Bengal, and unfortunately there is no competitions going on here. Unfortunately, no. And it is really getting difficult to the thing that I love most about wrestling is table time, getting with your friends and practicing on table. And I really miss it here. When I go back to home, about 1,000 miles from here for about 3 weeks, then I get a chance to sneak in a couple of practice table times, but it is really not enough. Unfortunately, there is no one near me in around 150 miles radius, and I have to get leave from my job to go home. Kind of unfortunate. John isn't weak, BPJ, but whenever there is a competition, I would go without training. Like my first competition in 2019, this was the first time, that was the first time when I actually saw an arm wrestling table in 2019, and I straight went to the nationals. So if there is a competition, I will go. Doesn't matter if I have trained or not. Sanjay Deshwal, welcome, brother. I am seeing you on my channel for the first time. Where are you from, bro? You have a good update on arm wrestling every time. Okay, Sanjay, we have met in Delhi in BCAI Nationals, which I said was my first competition. But I think you don't know me, but I definitely know you. I was born in Haryana and brought up in Uttar Pradesh, and right now living in West Bengal. He did not go to the front. He went forward a little bit, but not to the front. Come on, Deeps. If Devon beats Levan, he will reach GOAT status, still behind John, but in the same conversation. Possible, quite possible, John. John isn't weak. If you talk about elite super heavyweights, if you compare John with them, I think John is weak. Prime Alexi versus Levan. What do you think, Levan? I will show. Like Prime Alexi took him about what 4 5 seconds to beat Travis Bagent, and Travis also had a win over him a previous year. I don't think Travis can do anything with Levan. Maybe Travis can do because he's really fast. But man, these are just assumptions, and assumptions will always go in favor of Levan. Always. Devon Led from the future. I will show the world that I'm the best arm wrestler that has ever lived. We hope this is the truth. It's not WL rule, so King's move won't be at his full capacity. Also, if you watch, there is only one difference regarding King's move. It is about the humerus. WL says that the shoulder should not be below the table, and PL mm, King of the table says that the humerus shoulder, this humerus cannot be at a downward angle. So this is the only difference. He always hits and then goes into a king's move, but you can't hit Levan, right? Fat strength relation. Being fatter doesn't make you stronger. Actually, the fat is an hindrance to testosterone production. Man, these all athletes, almost all of them are on TRT. Doesn't matter if it hinders testosterone production. It induces a permanent inflation in the joints. Only reason why. Devon wins after Levan has a stroke on the table and his right arm doesn't work anymore. Right. This is a this is maybe the only possibility. Devon did allow it. He adjusted his elbow as John started applying back pressure, but he didn't go all in against John's offense, right? Maybe. He could have denied John's hand if he wanted. I doubt that. I doubt. When you're like really shaking, redlining, I just cannot believe that you allowed something. Even Dave couldn't escape for strap. Devon has half of power of Dave, even at his peak. Devon only needs to be 80% as strong as anyone to hold and bleed. But Levan, that's a huge task. How long? How long? So, brother, I this was one of my questions, and very few people answered it in my previous video. I asked that I think you can bleed a hand which is stronger than yours. You can bleed a hand which is larger than yours. But if someone's hand is really like almost twice as thick as yours and it is stronger also, can you really bleed that hand out? I somehow doubt that. Like for me it would be really difficult to imagine that Devon can just in the setup Devon can bleed Levan's hand out. Maybe in the match in extreme kings move it is possible, but in the setups, manipulating the setups, I think Devon will be the one who will get tired first, just because he can contain. Like Dennis also has a thicker hand. He didn't really bleed out no matter how much Devon tried. But yes, the PL setups were quick, so the starts were quick. There it will be a lot of time, but I don't think it will matter much. The only way Devon is bleeding Levan's arm or Levan's hand is during the match, not before or after. Strongmen are fat is because they eat a lot of support their muscle mass that is induced. Okay. King of the table is auto strap. Brother, WL is also auto strap 30 seconds. No difference. Mike G, it's not official yet. Oh, PL rules. What? I'm just wondering why would Devon take the match if he thinks he will get annihilated? He must believe he has a chance, although extremely slim, right? The thing with John versus Devon round one is that John started pulling at the some close hands. Okay. As soon as he closed the fingers 1 second before the go, and Devon was not ready for it. Possible. This is going to be a repeat of Dennis' match. King's move isn't great when you can't keep your pronation. Levan's cup will be too much. Possible. I feel like Levan won't fight for grip. He will allow Devon to take. I may have to skip some comments today, brother. It is getting really difficult. That is why I'm not reading the names. And Devon might drain Levan, but it will be too late. So Devon might get last few rounds. Adnan. Devon was about to get cracked against Chafee, yet Levant destroyed Chafee like nothing, even though it was more recent, which means Chafee was stronger and more prepared. Possible. Life's good, true, Levant. Okay. Levant will unlock Devon Devon's bone. I think King of the Table events. I like King of the Table events, but all main events being 6-0 one sided so far kind of boring, right? I agree. Devon will crush. And there is a thin line between demanding popular matches, arranging popular matches like Devon versus John, going to be a popular match. But is it close? I don't really think so. I Very few people would have believed that this is going to be a close match. But still, you may have to trade close matches with popularity sometimes to get more numbers. This is what they have to deal with in the future as well. Same thing is going to be with Levan and Devon. Vince McMahon, come on, guys, take the subscriber count to 8,000 and I will offer him a good WWE contract. Please do that, guys. And please take the likes number to 75, 66 right now, showing on my screen. We're in West Bengal. I'm from Kolkata. I'm far away from Kolkata, brother. Bagdogra, about 550 kilometers from there. It is amazing to see you bring content like this. And yes, Levan is strong, of course, but Devon's unwillingness to compromise makes him the best ever. Devjyoti Samantha. Devon is great. I love Devon. Then Michael Todd should also see a doctor, Lemon, to straighten his arms. Yes, maybe. Took center from Devon. Toddzilla took center from Devon, right? We cannot forget these things. Lifeless game. Levan will agree. Okay, you're talking to Mike G. Megatron, you sadly, yes, sadly, a lot of bad matchups going on King of the Table. Are you a Bengali? No, Anirban Paul, I'm not Bengal. Pushkar versus Devon was huge upset. Left-handed, yes. I think Devon could have given him a good match or maybe even beaten him right-handed too because Pushkar did not have really great endurance. Only in one match I saw him showing great endurance against Michael Todd. Devon will get crushed. Does Levan have a good press? He has a good tricep press, so I'm assuming he may have a flop press too if it is needed. One-sided events were no more entertaining to watch, right? Levan can beat Devon 21-0. You look Northern Indian, Pradeep, because I am. Why does the world overrate Schoolboy so much? He is Beerman Burgoyne in the house. Welcome, sir. How are you doing? Why does okay? Because you are going against him, right-handed. He is not elite. I'm going to win. People are stupid. So, Evan, the thing is that I would have definitely favored you over Schoolboy left-handed, but can you really beat him right-handed? Man, like I want to know how much you have progressed since the 2018 Ryan Bowen match because you were very similar in terms of strength, and that Ryan Bowen was light and Schoolboy. If you compare to that version, if you have increased your level of strength since then it could be a good match. But Schoolboy is a different level right now. Like those 2018 versions of you and Ryan Bowen, I think 2021 version of Schoolboy would have destroyed both of you. So unless you have leveled up like a big in big numbers, I see Schoolboy as the favorite. Left-handed, I would have seen you as the favorite. You should have asked for a left-handed match. This is my opinion. Nirmal Roy, I'm from West Bengal. Okay, brother, hope to meet you someday. Which city? Bagdora, I already answered. Evan Burgoyne. Levan is one of the smart arm wrestlers. Besides his power, he knows arm wrestling very good, so he will work on endurance and show up much leaner with a way more endurance than everyone would expect. This is Levan is a good arm wrestler also because he was not always a super heavyweight. He started in under 110 kilos, I think, or maybe even under 100 kilos for quite some time. Then he grew his frame. So this is how he had to learn how to arm wrestle well as well, because in the beginning he was not as strong as he is now to beat everyone. So he had to use skills. We have seen him in long matches against Gennady and against Krasimir. No, non is cool. Would be more interesting a 12 rounds match where MT and Devon alternates versus Levan. I thought about that at King of the Table too. I had this weird idea like after Devon and John Brazing face each other, how about and Hermes and Gennady face each other? So all four of them are kind of tired. How about line all of them up against Levan at King of the Table format? I think it would have been amazing to watch. Do you think Dennis will be able to get back at competing? Dennis has said, and I actually made a video about that. That Dennis said that in January he will confirm that he is making a comeback or not. I think he did not even say that. He said that he will make a comeback in January, and by March he will be looking into getting into serious competitions. This is what Dennis has said. Love your channel. I have started arm wrestling and I'm 38. Late start. We have to. Oh, I see a comment from Ryan Bowen. I'll just read that comment from Arnab. We have a strong group in Assam. Levan match could go Devon Dennis way, right? Let's read the chat from my member, my supporter Ryan Bowen. In one in how's that 1 million can be found? Can it be found? Ryan, I really don't think so. Like I can bet. Like I would not shy away from betting on Levan in this match, even if it is a shutout stakes. 4-0 for sure I'm betting on Levan. For sure. Even if it is a 6-0 shutout stakes, I would still have the guts to bet on Levan. But love your brother, awesome. Thanks very much for the becoming a member on my channel. But no, I don't think it can be found. And you first, I did not get your videos. Like, why are you making these videos? Because I genuinely thought that you were believing that because you believed that in the Dave Chaffee versus Levan match. So I thought maybe this is not the case once again. That is why I texted you that day. But great to see you here. And it is late over there, I'm assuming. Guys, I'm gonna have to end this chat in about 5 minutes from now. So please do not post new comments. I'll have to go to work in about 10 minutes from now. So only human that can win round one. Please do not post new comments so that I can get to all of the comments. Please, it is a request. And subscribe to the channel if you are about to leave this live stream. Devon is much better than Dave at sleeping. Agreed. Flop wrist press isn't a problem for Levan. Bye, Pradeep. I'm going to work. Have a nice day. See you soon. Thank you very much, Martino. Dial and Fowler. Devon has no limits until he faces Levan at the table. Left-handed, Devon found his limit in Siplankov. Ongarbai was so fast that he almost pinned Levan. Not really. And Levan was not really trying to pin Ongarbai. He was trying to see if he can hold him center just with his fingers, just with his cupping. But he couldn't. So he was able to slip every time. If Levan went that way, I think he could have pinned Ongarbayev as well without the straps. Maybe not 6 rounds, but definitely 3-4 rounds at least. What do you think, Dennis, after comeback against Devon? Maybe Devon should have a left-handed match at King of the Table 3 against Dennis. This is what I want to see. Any updates on Siplankov? Red John, I have made a video about that. So please go to my channel and watch Dennis Siplankov comeback video. Maybe it is inside last 10 videos. I'm kind of disgusted by Todd couples flacking against Pradeep. I don't know what it is going in their heads, but it is kind of pathetic to make grudge out of a commentary channel's correct predictions. Man, Mike, you would assume that if at such a high level one would not say dumb things, but Michael Todd usually says a lot of dumb things, and he's revving hard. He's redlining that bias meter also. Ryan, if you are still there, you must have noticed like how Michael Todd is full of bias when talking about Hermes Gasparini versus Alex Cordecha. What does Michael say? What is the words that he's using? Hermes got destroyed by Cordecha. Hermes got handled by Cordecha, and much more. And when speaking about Hermes versus Gennady match, I was shocked to hear his words. How can someone be that biased? Michael was saying that Hermes had a good day against Gennady Kukuinia. So he's been saying Hermes got handled, Hermes got destroyed, and in the next sentence he says that Hermes had a good day against Gennady. Man, come on. And I said that when again made a post in his Facebook group, that how do you see the match against Gennady, Michael versus going? And I'm saying that the side pressure hits that were working against Ron Bath and Corey West are not going to work against high level elites. It is not going to work against Gennady, which is 100% truth. And he's mad at me for saying that. Monster Michael Todd is mad at me for saying that he needs to, that I want to see him climb in his king's move, then wait, then press. And I even said that I want to see you win, but this is the only way I see you winning. These side pressure hits off the go are not going to work against Gennady, and I can bet money on that. And he got so offended, started calling me stupid. Man, what kind of champion do you think you are? If my words, which are going to be true again, like there have been a couple of times where I've made you eat your words, and still man, really disappointing. I'll have to end this live stream, guys. Please let me read a few comments. And please type in the comments after this video ends. Do you think this side pressure hit, Michael Todd's hit, is going to work against Gennady? Can he pin Gennady like that? No chance. Absolutely zero chance. First time I may have to leave some chat. First time. Don't go. I will change. Ryan Bowen, I think 330-pound deeps. MT has been looking pretty bad relative to his past. I can pin Gennady, Aryan Kumar. Levan wrist curls 85 kg dumbbells for reps. Devon is going to get demolished. Strong Arm Productions, where do you work? It is kind of a secret. I don't really want to reveal it here, brother. Hermes versus Devon, who would win? Really close match. I can see Hermes getting a couple of pins on Devon, but I would say Devon 4-2 maybe. Travis Bajent is younger. He's better facing Levance again, actually. Okay, I think Dennis can't come back because he had a kidney problem and the kidney cannot heal. Man, what kind of comment is that? Dennis said that he's looking to make a comeback in March. Great to see Ryan supporting your channel. We settled our beef. I'm really happy about that. I'm also going to offer Michael Todd to come on my channel, maybe settle it out if he wants, but I don't really think that his delusions are going to allow him to do that. What Devon does for arm wrestling is unbelievable. And Rebecca told Michael, I can feel that. I know that 100% that do not talk about Pradeep or else he's going to make you eat your words once again. But man, Michael, and she has tried a couple of times whenever my discussion is brought on their channels, she tells him to keep quiet. But this time he didn't listen. So I'll have to make him eat his words again. Ryan Bowen, let's keep commentating so Pradeep doesn't go to work. Please don't do that. This is your job now, Pradeep. I hope. Ryan, you know what is my job. And you know I cannot like skip my job like that. Ryan is a bad boy. Ryan Bowen, I did 7 years doing what Pradeep does. Ryan, please stop. Please stop. He just really wants a crack at Levan. Devon stole it from him. Ryan, do you like the Indian accent? What is about liking an accent or not? I really don't understand it. Languages are to communicate, and I think my accent is clear enough, understandable enough to like make you understand what I'm saying. I don't really get the liking about that. I'm sorry, brother. I have never done that, but this is the first time that I'm gonna have to leave some of the comments unattended. Please forgive me, and please subscribe. I can do a pretty good Indian accent. Ryan Bowen, your Travis Bajent accent is even better than Travis Bajent himself sometimes. I kind of wait for it. I've never asked you to do it, but please, Pradeep, do an Aussie accent. No, I cannot really do. Sorry, brother. I'll ask you to do Travis Bajent accent. I love that. Bowen, stop commentating. How is your Aussie accent, Pradeep? Mate, dial in Fowler. I watched an interview, funniest Aussie interview ever. Like it is really difficult. And about Aussie accents, like we can understand it because we love cricket and we have been hearing Australian cricketers speak for a very long time, but there are some Aussie accent. Like, please watch that video. Funniest, most Aussiest interview ever. This is the video, most Aussiest interview ever. And it is really difficult to understand what that guy is saying. A woman interviewing a man. Ryan, you underestimate Pradeep, brother. I'm really sorry. Please take the like numbers to 100 before we leave, and then I'm gonna have to end it. I'll do Aussie accent next time for sure. I'm sorry, really sorry, Ryan. Don't want to embarrass myself here. Bye 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 bye. Can Devon beat Vitali? I don't think so. Devon is really unpredictable in terms of strength. We all love both these stars. I'm Devon's favor. Arm wrestling support. I've seen it so funny, right? Bye bye, brother. Bye 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 bye. Likes are up to 100. And again, I sincerely apologize. I cannot read all the comments this time because I have to go to work. Yes, Pradeep, can't wait. Thanks very much. Thank you, Arm Wrestling. Please catch up the live stream next time. And I'm going to upload a video. Please watch that as well.